Would you suck nadeshot's dick for $1 million? What's up, guys? We're here with a brand new video for you today. If you guys didn't know by the title, obviously this is going to be a hashtag Ask Matthias, where basically you guys send in questions through Twitter. I sent out a tweet. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, it's in the description below. Anyways, basically you guys ask me questions that you want answered, and I pick out the ones that I think are good questions, or they are very informative, and I pick them out and I answer them for you. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Alright guys, so this first question comes from Cameron D, and he says, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Honestly, I couldn't tell you, but if I had to choose what I would want, I want to be, in a house with a steady job, like a steady paying job, like living well with like a wife and maybe 2 kids. I don't think I want more than 2 kids, but if I could have, just like a comfortability living at home with a loved one and then, some kids, that'd be great. That's where I see myself in 10 years. Alright guys, this question comes from Joey2213X. He says, weirdest on the team and why is Krim that weird? Honestly, the weirdest on the team is by far Seth, okay? Like, he's really funny. He just is so weird, and I freaking love it. He's hilarious. Krim honestly isn't that weird. He just seems a little weird because he takes everything so serious usually while you guys are watching the streams, but off stream, Krim's actually a really cool guy. Alright, O Galaxies asks, what is your favorite moment of competitive in Halo and or Call of Duty? This one's easy. Like Halo, I definitely enjoyed winning MLG Orlando 2011 the most, by far. It was my first MLG event win, and it was just this crazy-ass feeling, just so much time put in, you finally get, all the reward that you really wanted, so definitely that. And in Call of Duty, it was probably winning Gfinity or Orlando, just because Gfinity was my first event win in Call of Duty, and it was awesome, I always wanted to do that, and then Orlando because it was my first one with the squad I have now, and that was an awesome experience just to win with the OG squad. And we were working so hard to get that. Alright, this question comes from Optic Update, one of my friends. He's a really cool guy. He says, does nadeshot really know? What do you think? EKXAJ, I'm sorry if I just butchered your name in. He asks, what made you want to switch to Call of Duty from Halo? I pretty much when Halo was kind of dying out and the event stopped, being held by MLG and other big organizations, I pretty much just said I'm going to try my hand in COD just because Call of Duty was on the rise and it looked so fun to play, so that was pretty much why I changed. I still wanted to compete. I didn't think, all my gas was done yet, so I was still really young, and that's why I switched. Okay, Ryan says, if you could be any age for a week, what would it be and why? And this is a good question because this is actually an interesting one. If I really wanted to be, like 7 years old again, or have the opportunity to be 7 years old again, I think I would be. Like, being a kid, you don't really wake up in the day and worry about too much, whereas being an adult, you wake up and you're like, what do I have to do today? How much work do I got to do? Am I doing all right with money? And you know what I mean? And anything when you were 7, it was just kind of okay, we didn't do that, it's fine. You weren't really too worrisome about anything. It was kind of just schoolwork, and it wasn't even hard schoolwork, you were still learning the most simple stuff. So if I had to be 7 again, I definitely would, especially playing sports when you were growing up. Playing sports as a kid was just so fun. Dino asks, how did you get the name Matthias? And this kind of originated back maybe 6 months ago when I was playing with Saints one time. If you guys don't know who Saints is, he's a player for Envy, and he's a really good friend of mine. Anyways, we were playing Destiny or something, some random game, and he just randomly said Matthias instead of Matt, and I was like, what do you call me? And he said, Matthias. And that was the first person to call me that. But then in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, when I started teaming with Optic, both myself and nadeshot have the same name. We both named Matt. So we kind of had to set something that would differentiate us two in game. If we were constantly saying Matt behind you, both of us would turn around. You know what I mean? So we thought of calling him Nade or just me formal or something. But then Seth just brought up the idea to call me Matthias, and I was like, hell yeah, let's do that because it sounds cool. I like it, and it separates us pretty well. So that's pretty much how it all started. C Vega123 asks, first impressions on joining the Call of Duty scene after Halo. To be honest with you, I really didn't like the Call of Duty scene when I first joined, just because all the players were a lot different than the Halo guys. A lot of the Halo players were really old. I was always kind of the youngest one. They were all kind of in their 20s or, late teens, and I was 16 or 15 or something. But in Call of Duty when I switched, I was 18, and there were a lot of 15, 16-year-old players. And it was just a different change of maturity levels. You see a lot of Twitter fights and stuff like that in the COD community, all the time. And in Halo, it was none of that. It was very professional. If you had a problem with someone, you just didn't talk to them. And this community, it's kind of if you have a problem with someone, you just tweet at them and hope for a bunch of RTs and faves and show that you made a good roast or something. So I don't really like that, but other than that, the game was really fun when I first switched, just because it was a complete change of pace than Halo. It was a little hard to learn, but I mean, it was still really fun to like play a different game. All right, Jay Cozy asked, what was the thing you missed most about the Optic house? To be honest with you, I miss hanging out with the team all the time. It was really fun. Being back home, it does get lonely sometimes, but like I kind of like the loneliness. Everyone kind of likes being alone every once in a while, and I enjoy the privacy. But like waking up every day and just hanging out with your friends and just playing with each other. Oh my god, that sounded awful. But you get what I mean. Like playing COD with each other in different rooms is really fun, and just hanging out, watching movies and stuff like that. This is starting to sound like we're like really, really close. Yeah, I don't know, but pretty much, I mean, other than that, the weather sucked. I hated it. That's like, I'll answer another question real quick because I got a lot of these questions. This is kind of like a frequently asked one. It was why I left the Optic house, and it's because the weather was just so bad. Like, I'm from California, Southern California, so when I wake up every day for like 19 years of my life and it's sunny and it's nice and it's warm outside, then I went to Chicago for like a month and a half and it was just 30 degrees or less every single day, just snowy and gloomy. It just felt like one continuous night, just over and over again. So I really didn't like miss that, but I definitely miss hanging out with the guys. All right, this question comes from Repulsors, and he says, where do you think you'd be right now if you didn't pursue your gaming career? That's a really good question. Honestly, I couldn't tell you for sure, but if I went with my original plan, it would just be, go to college and finish out 4 years there, then move on to, grad school or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I really wasn't too into the whole school thing, so who knows where I'll be right now. Luckily, I got to live this whole fantasy life thing of gaming, but honestly, man, it would be a wild ride if I just didn't do it, if I just never competed. I don't know where I would be. Probably like somewhere in like Arizona or something going to school. Alright, Mighty asks, what is your favorite Call of Duty gun of all time? I can answer this real quick. By far, the MTAR. In Ghost, the MTAR meta was so fun just because there's not a lot of guns now or in Ghost where you would get a kill with it and you'd be like, damn, those were good shots. I'm impressed with myself, but the MTAR, when you would hit like a long-range laser beam on like Octane Dom or something, you would just feel like so sick for like 5 seconds. You'd be like, yeah, I'm fucking feeling myself. But in this game, it's like, you got the BAL and it doesn't feel like too hard to shoot at the ASM, which like insta-melts, and then in Ghost it turned from like the meta of the MTAR and went to the Vector, and the Vector just didn't feel satisfying at all. But the MTAR was just so fun to use. Alright, that Asian kid asks, fuck, marry, kill, Scump, Krim, and Nade. This is easy. I would marry Nade. He is the, he seems like the one that you would want to be around the most. No offense to either of the other two. I would probably, this one's interesting, because I don't know if I would kill Krim or kill Scump. So I feel like fucking Scump would just be like super hectic and he'd be super into weird stuff, but Krim might be into like dominatrix shit. I guess I would, yeah, I guess I'd probably fuck Scump, just because I guess it'd be wild, and Krim would just be scary, and I would have to kill Krim, because if I didn't kill him, he'd probably kill me eventually. Okay guys, that pretty much does it for all the user submitted questions. I'm going to answer some frequently asked ones real quick because they always come up in my stream or on my Twitter timeline. First question I would like to answer, what sensitivity do I play on? I play on 3 sensitivity. I get this question probably like 30 to 40 times a day in my stream. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, it's always there. So if you guys do watch this video, please remember I always play on 3 cents. Always 3 cents. Because I use an AR and it's a lot better than 4 just because it's a lot easier to shoot long range. So I use 3. Another frequently asked question is, why do I always wear a hat? Let me show you guys real quick that I do have hair, but let me tell you why I wear a hat real quick. It's because back in the day, I used to be like super into like spiking my hair and stuff like that, and it was just like this Asian phase, like weird phase of mine. And after my hair got super long, like I would put a headset on and it would always just leave this like indent in my head after I was done playing, and I was like, I hate that. And eventually I was like, fuck it, I'll just put a hat on and play, and it was really comfortable, and it didn't make me feel weird when I was playing because my hair wasn't getting messed up. Because, no one likes when the hair looks weird. Like, you always feel kind of weird if your hair's messed up. But I'll show you guys real quick. Ready? So yeah, that's pretty much why I wear a hat, guys. I do have hair. It's just super fucking long. That's why I wear a hat over it all the time, because the Astros really do just kind of pull on it. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this first installment of the hashtag Ask Matthias. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos if I see any more questions like that I haven't ever seen before, and you guys would probably want answered because a lot of people are asking the same question. But I hope I answered a lot of you guys. I'm sorry if I didn't get to. There were a lot of tweets, and I hope you guys really enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys later.